Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the KrankyKraft Labyrinth map-making series with BDA, and I still need to find a better name for that. Welcome to my test world. This is where I've been doing all of my redstone and command block tests, and today we're going to be working on, I'm going to be showing you guys the development work that I've done on the item system for the traps. So this is everything directly related to the trap system. So, let's just get started. I will warn you guys, this is probably going to be not a very interesting episode if you are not interested in redstone and command block stuff. This is mostly just me walking you guys through the system that I made and developed here, so fair warning, fair warning. So, let's get started here. So, first off, I'm just going to say we got a trap over here, and we got a trap over here. This system is test built to accommodate two, so this is going to extrapolate out and get exponentially larger once we actually put it into the actual labyrinth, where there's like, 20 traps. So just keep that in mind. So first things first, this is kind of the setup that we're going to be using for the GM room, for the Game Master room. So this is where you'll be able to come and you'll have just a giant wall. Actually, I have one set up over here so you can actually take a look at it. So, these are the trap options. I think we've got 14 different trap options. So these are all going to be different items, different potions, different things, effectively, that you're going to be able to pick and choose from. And then there'll be a go button. So that's how many, that's what the final wall is going to look like. It's going to have this many buttons, and they're all going to be set up like this. So we fly back over here. So it's very simple. We've just got a lever for each of them that will light up, saying, okay, so I want fire charges and I want arrows. Good. Cool. So how is this exactly set up and working? So we come back here. We've got a piston with a redstone block. Very, very easy. Just being directly activated by the lever there. And we've got two command blocks. So when the redstone, or when the switch is in the off position, so it's not being selected, the redstone block will power this command block. And all this is doing is it's setting a block of air, which I'll show you where that is over there in one moment. And then when we activate it, redstone block switches over, and it powers this one, which is setting a command block, or powering a command block, which is setting a command block with a command. If that sounds confusing, it's because it is. So, here, I'll show you guys this. So, this one is for this spot right here, which is the regen spot. Oh, I did not... I forgot to fix this. Oh, that's probably why. Oh, okay. Half sec. Sorry about that, just a little bug in the system. So, what it's doing is it's setting this command block right here. This is a command block that has a fill redstone block command, and then these coordinates here are just this block to this block, and then this can get extended out as far as we need it. And then it's powering, again, this command block, which is just setting this back to stone. Basically, it's just sending a pulse. That's all it's doing. And then we have... that one is for the regen potion. This one, which just made this command block here, which is the exact same thing, except for this one. And then we have this one for the arrows, which is right here, which again is the exact same thing, except for this one. So that's kind of simple once you kind of wrap your head around it. If you want to see the command for setting a command block, it's right here. That's what it looks like. Although it's too long for the for the chat box, so that doesn't actually work. That's interesting. That's kind of curious, actually. Let's see, is there any way that I can... whatever. That's how it ends, if you want to fill in the gaps. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how much of this I want to be instructional and how much I just want this to be like, hey, this is what I made. So, if you guys want more of like an instructional, like here's how you make these command blocks things, let me know, because I can do that. I just don't want to do that because it's really, really boring right now. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. So, okay. So we've got all three of these set. So we've got regen, fire charges, and arrows. We are telling the system, okay, we want all three of these to be going out to traps. If you only wanted arrows and regen potions, you would just turn this one off. But we want all three of them for now. So, and then what we would do is we would set all these up and go, okay, this is all the stuff we want for traps. Good, good, good. We'd come over here and we'd hit the power button. Now, what is the power button doing? The power button is just a series of these commands. It's literally those two repeated 3 times. And what that's doing is it's changing this line right here to redstone and back to stone, and then to redstone and then back to stone, and then to redstone and then back to stone. It's super simple. It's just 3 pulses, and I'll explain why I had to do that later. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go boop. So it's turning those on. It's powering all that stuff there, which is then powering these commands here, which I'll show you here momentarily. So that's the power button. Okay, so then these commands here, so it goes boop, boop, which is powering this to redstone. Whoops. There we go. Is powering these 2 commands. Now, what this is doing is this is placing the item in a specific slot of the chests at each trap. Did you follow that? If not, go listen to it again, because, yeah. Basically, all it's doing is it's saying, I want to place this many of this item in this slot of a chest at this location. Yeah. Oh, command blocks. Okay. So, it's really super simple. I've just got 2 command blocks here because we've got 2 traps. This is pretty much, expandable out to however far you need it to be for all of the traps. Like I said, we're probably going to be doing 20, so it'll probably end up looking something like this, where the orange wool is command blocks. And then that'll be on every single one of these. And then there'll be 14 of these little modules. All right, that's what that is. And then that's just duplicated. So then this one is doing fire charges, and this one is doing arrows. And I've got it set to put 2 of each in at the moment, at a time, which will make sense momentarily. So, fly over here. So we've got the items are being pumped into this chest. They're getting pulled out. Here, actually, let me do this so I can show you what it looks like before they start getting pulled out. So it's sending items. So it's putting 2 of each into each slot, and then it'll automatically get pulled out. Boop, boop. And, whoops. Whoops. Dispenser. I broke it. There we go. So let's just clear all this crap out of here. And we'll hit the button again. So what it's doing is it's putting those items in there. They're automatically getting sucked out. And then they'll end up in here. So we end up with splash potions of regeneration and arrows and fire charges. Now, there is a little bit of a bug in the system, which I will explain afterwards, because it's kind of confusing. Yeah. So, basically why I had to do 3 pulses of 2 items. Okay. The problem that I was running into is that I was going to put, like, 10 potions of regeneration into here. The problem is that hoppers pull from the first slot in a chest. So, it would pull the item out, and it would only pull out 1 potion at a time. So all you would end up with is just a hopper that looked like this. So it was just like all of the first type of the item, which kind of goes against what we wanted to do with the trap system, where it was just a random assortment of stuff where it could be good, it could be bad, it could be any random number of things that are in there. So that's the problem that we were running into. And one of the things that I thought would fix it, but it doesn't seem to be working. It's kind of, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, which is not good. Is that I would put 2 items in there, they would get sucked out. I would put 2 items again in there, they would get sucked out. Put 2 items in there again, and they would get sucked out. So you would end up with like potion, potion, arrow, arrow, fire charge, potion, potion. So it would be kind of more of a random assortment. But it doesn't seem to be working. And the only thing I can think to do right now is to just extend the amount of delay between each pulse by a significant amount. So I want to try this on camera here. Do that. So you can, if you control middle click on a command block, it'll actually give you the command block with the command in it, which is so useful. So useful. Okay. Okay, that is putting it back to stone. Okay, that's setting it to redstone. That's setting it back to stone. That's setting it to redstone. Setting it back to stone. Setting it to redstone. And setting it back to stone. Perfect. Just make sure there's enough of a pulse in between all this. Alright, let's try this, and we'll see if it makes any difference. So, boop. Okay, so we got 2 arrows. Because you see, this is a real problem, because this is only 3 items. And once we get, like, 14 in here, or, like, 8 probably is probably going to be, like, the maximum, 8 or 9 or something like that, things are going to get more complicated. So... yeah, I don't know. This is just something I'm going to have to think about. If you guys have any bright ideas, definitely let me know. Because that's just a bug in the system that's going to have to get worked out. The whole randomization of these items is just something that I haven't been able to figure out yet. Anyways, let's move on to the next step. I've kind of been talking about that enough. The next step is this contraption over here. Now what this is a command block clock, which if you don't know how to make these, it's just a fill command and a fill command here. So this is redstone blocks, this is stone blocks, and when it puts a redstone block, it powers this one, which turns it back to stone, which powers this one. Yeah, it's just constantly going, and it's going very, very quickly. So I think it's, what, 20 things like a second or something like that? 20 ticks a second? I think that sounds right, 20 hertz. But, okay, so what this is doing... actually, first, let me say this. So, in the actual Labyrinth, when we were building it on the KrankyKraft server in vanilla, the only way that we could figure out to make it work was with pressure plates. Yeah. Don't stop shooting at me. Was with pressure plates on the ground that players would activate when they run over them, which I was never really a fan of, but it was just one of those limitations of vanilla. I really like the idea of just having traps pop out of nowhere and just kind of be unavoidable. Like they're just kind of part of the existence of living in the Labyrinth. So that's one of the major things that I wanted to do with the trap system. And so that's what I did. So what we've got here is we've got a test for command. Excuse me. Now what the test for command is doing is it's, every time that it gets powered, it's testing if a variable is true. And so what the test command I've got here is if there is any player within 3 blocks of this coordinate, output a signal. So that block is technically this block here. So then it's saying, okay, if there's a player within 3 blocks of it, so right here, it'll send out a signal, which is what these comparators are for. They're picking up the signal. And then it'll power this one. So this is putting an air block and then putting a stone 6 block. So what that's doing is it's basically doing this. It's going boop and then putting the block back. And then the other side of this is putting a redstone block and then putting air. So all that one's doing is it's going boop, or it's going boop, and then boop. And then when you put that in coordination with each other, it goes boop, and outputs an item. So it's like, whew. Where the hell did that go? Jeez. Well, I don't know, we just off into the middle of nowhere. So yeah, that is effectively all it's doing. And so it's just unavoidable. Anytime you run past here... That's really weird. Yeah, so anytime you run past here, it's activating the dispenser and outputting a trap item. And then it's just exactly duplicated here for this trap over here. So we can go... boom. And... Hiya! And I have tested this. If you are running through, you will get hit. So even if you're running full sprint, you are going to get hit. Which is why it's actually set at 3. So, that is the trap system. That's how it works. And like I said, so we've got 14 different items here that are all going to go out here. This is just going to get duplicated out, so there's going to be 14 of these little nodules, and then however many traps there are, they're going to be these. Now, I will say, I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of the traps like this, where all of the traps are invisible. I might have some of them that are pressure plate based, so players can, you know, jump over them. But that's just something I'm going to have to see once we start doing some playtesting. Because, yeah, I don't know how it's going to work. We're kind of making this up as we go along. And jump cut. So, it's been a couple days since I recorded that first little bit of the episode there. And I did some more work. And I found something out. As I spit all over my keyboard. Hey, that's classy. So, I was messing around with some command stuff. And I realized, well, discovered, basically, that if you use the clone command, which is this one, and you clone a chest, so here, I will demonstrate. So we have a chest, ta-da, let's put that redstone block in there too, and then we hit the button, kabonk. It duplicates everything that is in the chest as well, which is like, oh my god, that is amazing. So I had spent forever trying to figure out how to do this, and as far as I could tell, you couldn't. So that's why I spent all this time developing this ridiculous thing over here. But what this does is it basically lets us get rid of everything I built over here, pretty much. Almost. Well, I mean, basically this entire monstrosity right there is going to be gone. Which is really nice. So what I did instead, what I got over here, this is Item Trap System 2.0, or Trap Item System 2.0, however that works. So basically, the front here basically looks the same. There's, you know, switches, same basic thing here, piston moving redstone block back and forth, placing and unplacing these command blocks. So let's turn these all on. Boop. So now we have this thing here. So what this is going to do is these are going to spawn items in the chest that is over by the button there. So it's going to put it into slot number 1, and then it's going to put 6 fire charges. So, and then these ones are just the other things, you know, regen potion, arrows, etc., etc. Whatever. So then push the spawn items button. That sends a pulse to there, activating all that. And then it spawns all the items. In this chest. I don't know why that's really buggy sometimes. I think it's just like when it doesn't get enough of a pulse or something, like you don't hit the button hard enough. It's weird. Anyways, what it does is it spawns all the items. in here, and then what you can do as the GM is that you can just come in here and you go brah, 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 brah. And obviously, like, fire charges and arrows stack. But if it was like potions, like here, let's actually grab a bunch of healing potions. Ta-da! So we can just like randomize all these things in here and blah 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 blah. Which solves all of the randomization issues that I was talking about before the jump cut. So, and then we have everything in there, and then what this does is we'll populate the traps, and it resets the chest as well. So, what it does is it copies the chest to the traps. So yeah, there we go. So that got duplicated over here, and it got duplicated over here. So it can just start randomly pulling, well, you know, quote-unquote randomly, however the GM randomized it, and it'll just start pulling all that stuff down, and then we have random chests, or random dispensers. So the system is so much more compact, uses like a quarter of the command blocks, I mean, maybe even like more than that, so much more compact. As far as the populating traps, all this is doing is just cloning the chest over there, cloning the chest to there, and then this is on a delay to reset the chest. It took a little while for me to figure out how to do the rotation. I still don't exactly know which one is which direction, because it works on the data value. So 5 apparently is the chest facing this direction. Okay, just roll with it. So that is that system. It's much more compact, much easier to use, allows for even greater randomization. So if a GM really wanted, they could put something in here. I mean, hell, you could even put like a sword in here. Like, kaboom. Do that. And come over here, and boom, you got a sword in there. So you could randomly give items to players that way if you really wanted to. So, yeah, that's just kind of even more living into the motto of this map, which is just extreme customization in pretty much every respect. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. And just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of that. So I'm like 90, 100... 99% sure that this is the final system that we're going to be using, unless something absolutely amazing comes along. But I doubt it, because I think this is about as compact as it's going to get. So, yeah, anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it today, because I just wanted to show you guys that. So thank you guys for watching. Next episode, we'll be continuing on with another aspect of the map. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more stuff from me, hit the subscribe button. If you want to chip a little bit of money my way and help support me in what I'm doing, check out my Patreon campaign. Links are in the doobly-doo and on the end screen. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.